Welcome in to another live edition of House of Horns. This is a House of Horns post game edition as the Rams hold out the Patriots 28-28. They keep their playoff hopes alive. Gilbert, the Rams are now the eighth seed in the playoffs now that the 49ers
Wow.
lost to the Seahawks. So and they're in second place in the division as well at 5-5. So a good day to be a Rams fan. They go up to the East Coast, get a win. There are some things still going on with the offense that we'll get into, especially in the first half. But overall, a good win for the Rams. But happy to have you on, Gilbert. Gilbert does it for Sports Illustrated and MQB. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, and I'm sure a lot of Rams fans are doing well now that they know that the Seahawks beat the 49ers. And you probably could have been like, "Oh, a win is a win," kind of post game show, because it was a little ugly at the end for the Rams against the Patriots team. They probably should have beaten by 10 points or more. But they got the victory, and now they're in second place. And I'm writing my stories, and I'm looking up. Oh crap, Geno Smith is about to tie this game here, or sorry, or get the lead here, and they got the game-winning touchdown, and it's 5-5-5, 5-5-5-5, bunch of fives everywhere in the standings, and then the one-game lead for the Arizona Cardinals. So
Yep.
overall, you got to be happy for the Rams here, who looked like they were, about to be a zombie walking machine after what happened on Monday Night Football. 6 days later, with the 10 a.m. start there for your body clock, hey, not too bad.
Yeah, especially their struggles, as I said, continue in the first quarter, but it felt like they finally woke up like around 11 o'clock Pacific time, and yeah, I mean a lot of things that we've been asking about with this offense, they finally did. I mean, we finally got an explosive play, Gilbert,
Hey,
from the offense, courtesy of Cooper Cup's 69-yard touchdown, receiving touchdown there. So a lot of good things. First time that this season that the Rams offense surpassed 400 yards of total offense.
mm,
And then I wanted to point out one more thing too before we kind of dive more into this win for the Rams is, you had the Rams went back to Bo Limmer at center. They started McClendon at right tackle and Davis Allen at tight end. So um, I give props to McVay and the offense for and the offensive personnel, the coaching staff for realizing that hey, you're not just gonna throw Jonah Jackson back out there because you signed him to this huge contract. You got to play the best players at and the healthiest ones right now. So shout out to McVay for doing that.
yeah, we were talking about it in the previous show, hinting that we'll find out soon, or maybe on Friday, if he's gonna have a offensive line shuffle. And we were saying like we'll be shocked if he doesn't tinker somehow. And then to do this drastic of a change, I give him a lot of credit too, Victor. So yeah, it's not easy to bench, some of your top players there, and to put in a rookie in Bo Limmer. What was he drafted in the fourth, fifth, sixth round? Uh, that's a credit to them to seeing to paying attention to what they're seeing in practices and games and putting that on the field. Then suddenly Kyron Williams is running well again, Puka Nakua doing well again, Cooper Cup doing well again. This was the offense that we thought we were going to get after the Minnesota game. So, yes, the Patriots. I get it. The Patriots aren't good. But to score that many points, to have that many yards on the road, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, whatever you want to call it, to get there, it is the ultimate win is a win. But then you get a nice interception at the end from Cam Kinchins to close it out against a rookie quarterback, Drake May, who was impressive at times there. But yeah, a lot of work to be done. But look at the 49ers and the Seahawks. So you're probably in a good spot because of the division that you're in.
Yeah, and then to seal it, I mean, the rookies just continue. I mean, this rookie class, I know we're not talking about it a lot, but we should. I mean, Cameron Kitchens became the first Rams rookie with eighth rookie in NFL history to record one interception and at least one tackle for a loss and a forced fumble in a single game.
Wow.
And as we talked about, we keep going down the list with a lot of these rookies. Braden, I keep trying to call him Brandon. It's Braden Fisk became the first player in franchise history to record two forced fumbles and two fumble recovers in his first 10 career games. And so we already know Jared Versus is the leading guy for rookie defensive rookie of the year. And so, and we just talked about Bo Limmer, like the rookie class, they deserve a lot of credit. We talked about, we said that the free agent class has been a bust for less need, but a lot of these rookies continue to step up. And then one more guy I want to shout out, especially from the defense, Byron Young recorded a sack for the fourth straight game. So both sides of the I feel like we almost got a complete game from the Rams, from the offense, the defense, and special teams. I think special teams didn't come through. Josh Carty missed a 26-yard field goal, which is the shortest missed field goal of the season for any team this year, Gilbert. Uh,
Yeah.
that's also a thing. And then they could have sealed the game with a field goal late in the game. I think it was a 50 plus yarder. But even Sean McVay said he just didn't have any confidence in him late in the game, so he didn't. They decided to punt there. So uh, good and bad, but almost got a complete game from everybody on the on this team.
Yeah, if you want to keep talking about rookies, a highlight, even an undrafted rookie like linebacker Omar Spate's doing well. So that defense has been better since they plugged them in there in the lineup. And yeah, it was a rough day for Josh McCarty to kind of end. He's also a rookie from the rookie class, so he doesn't really help out in that argument there. But
Yeah,
it was a rough day, but think you could afford games like that against the Patriots there, and it does help that they jumped out to a big lead. Maybe that was part of it when you had a big lead and you're letting the team hang around a little bit. You want to have that killer instinct to put them away. They couldn't do that. Drake May, is too talented to to not give him more respect there. So maybe they learn from it here, but overall, I know the record is not great. 5-5 is nothing good, but like when you keep talking about all these young players, young talent, first year guys, second year guys, the defense doing well in the post Aaron Donald era. And then you see what Puka Nacua with that touchdown, man. That was a tough grab there. I think he got the wind knocked out of him because he was down for a little bit. But from big picture, it felt like one of those games. Like, okay, the Rams are going to be fine for a long time if they figure out the quarterback position. We don't know what's going to happen with Matthew Stafford, but he was lights out too, 4 touchdown passes. So you want to think that these Rams are going to go back to 2023. They haven't really done that yet to stack wins or be consistent, but we keep saying it. Maybe this is the game where they actually turn the corner and they keep going down that road to be the team that they were last year.
yeah, and I'll point to the first quarter struggles again. This is the ninth time in 10 games that they failed to score a touchdown in the first quarter, but at the same time it just felt like they finally put it together on the road. We've been waiting for them
Yep.
to do it offensively, and they did it. I mean, it just took them after the second quarter to do so. And then I just want to point out the Rams struggles in the first quarter continued. They've now been outscored 50 points in the first quarter this season, Gilbert. So going forward, I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Is their first quarter. They need to get off to a good start, especially against a good team. In this game, they were afforded that because they were going up against a rookie quarterback, and so that really helped them there as well. But I wanted to get to some comments here, Gilbert. I know people have been waiting. Our guy
Yep.
Delbert, he always loves leaving a comment before and then before the show starts. So we'll start off with him. He says, "Onward versus Philly with all our imperfections, backs to the wall." Which I mean that's going to be a tough assignment. But you also have Seattle going up against the Cardinals, so that'll be a big game in the division as well. Daniel Calderon says, "What up, y'all? It's good to hear from you, Daniel." And then he said, "Almost lost it when Verse and Young gave them free set of downs." Yeah, there was a drive there where I think there was 30 yards of penalties, Gilbert.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest game there. And I was looking at the schedule right now. Like, yeah, the Eagles are next there. Then you get the Saints, and then I think what was a tough one? Maybe Bills. Yeah, sorry, Eagles, Saints, Bills, 49ers. It's very tough coming up. So I think I want to highlight for the schedule is like, yeah, you're kind of getting by. You're back to 500. You're 5-5. You haven't played clean performances, but you might need a clean performance to get by the Philadelphia Eagles, who have finally picked it up there, and they're 8-2 in the NFC. So I get it that you keep looking at the NFC West stands. You keep thinking you could afford to lose one more. You could maybe lose this one here, and you still be okay because nobody's pulling away. Maybe the Cardinals do that. I'm not even sure about that either. But we got to get that one against the Eagles at home, and we'll preview that on Wednesday night. But you can't play like that against Philadelphia. You can't play these ugly games. I cut up to them against Miami at home. If you're playing
Yeah.
games like that, it gets you in trouble. luckily for them, the offense, found a way to get over that another sluggish first quarter to put up points in the second and third quarters and build that lead there. But yeah, you got to clean it up there, and maybe that's probably the problem of a young roster. And I just can't. I'm trying to find something to talk about big picture besides the NFC West standings. Like I can't gauge this team because you go and you make it close against the Dolphins and the Patriots. You probably should have been 2-0 easily. Two bad teams. You lose to the Dolphins and you barely hang on to beat the Patriots. So are they a mediocre team or maybe a team that's trying to figure it out to eventually pick it up? And like you mentioned, they're still the 8th seed, but the NFC is very loaded. So like if you get in, you find a way to get in. Like how do you stack? And that's the thing I can't figure out this team. Maybe when they play the Eagles, the Saints, the Bills, and the 49ers, we'll find out after that.
Yeah, and and you're going up against two of the hottest teams right now in the Eagles, who won I think 6 in a row, and then the Patriots, who and I think it's either 6 in a row as well. So in the next 2 weeks, two of the next 3 weeks, and so and even the Bills, they have a tough schedule coming up. And they just beat the Chiefs, but they're going to be in the middle of a tough schedule themselves too, and so there are games you're gonna have to win one of those two games against either the Eagles or the Bills,
Hmm.
and then pretty much either go 2-1 the rest of the way in the division. You need to beat uh the Cardinals, the Seahawks you get at home, and then you go on a Thursday night on a short week to up to San Francisco. So there's a lot to play for here, but at least their playoff hopes are still alive. And now, as I said, you're starting to see a couple of holes there too with the Washington Commanders too, who are the 7th seed right now. They're 7-4. They've lost 2 in a row, so there is some hope there for Ram fans in case the division does not, uh, isn't there for them.
Yeah, it's just they're kind of running out of wiggle room because I guess the Commanders still have a 2-game lead. They're 7-3. The Packers are 7-3. The Vikings might be 8-2.
They're 8 and yeah, I think
Woo.
they just won their 8th win.
That
Yeah.
is some very good records in the wild card right there. So again, it might be more of the NFC West route, but yeah, the Commanders are starting to fade a little bit. I don't know their schedule, but just handle business in the division, and you never know. And the thing about this team, though, they're always going to keep us entertained, or at least watching them because they have such a good group, especially with the quarterback and the coach, Sean McVay, Matthew
Sure.
Stafford. They got Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup, Kyron Williams, and then we're listing off all the young players on the defensive side. So they're going to be in the mix. I feel like it's just I don't think they're ever going to find that gear to pull away, or maybe they could. But I just mentioned those teams, and that's a very difficult schedule. I don't know if the 49ers going to find that gear either. After what they did today with the Seahawks, I thought they're probably going to pick it up. They might not do it. It might be one of these things where whoever has 10 victories first might win a division. And the Seahawks could also fail a little bit, but that was an impressive victory. So we don't know about the
Yeah.
Cardinals. They had a bye week, but are we really confident they're going to stack 11 wins? That's hard to say too.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, all those teams you mentioned are going to be in it now. I mean, all four teams in the division can win it, and
Hmm.
so it's going to be fun the rest of the way to see which one of these teams kind of pulls away. I mean, right now the Cardinals are ahead in the division, but they play the Seahawks, so they're all going to get a chance to win this division going down the
Yeah, I think
stretch.
twice in the next 3 weeks they play each other: Arizona, Seattle.
Yeah, so well, yeah, it's going to be a good division battle. All good things says we'll be a Seahawks fan for this and next week. So there you go.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees there. Daniel Calderon Weir, how things change when you put your best center back in. 0 sacks today, Gilbert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again, it's hard to accept that when you pay a guy who's a veteran and Jonah Jackson, and you have a rookie who I'm already forgetting where they drafted him, but he
I
wasn't a
think it was
top
in the
two.
sixth or seventh
Yeah,
round out
so
of Arkansas.
it's another one they hit on a gem there. They keep doing it. Puka Nakua, Kyron Williams. We could keep going down the list for the fifth rounders or whatever. So, yeah,
Yeah.
again, it's a testament to obviously to Les Snead for finding the talent, but also for Sean McVay. I know people are always cold and hot with him, but to at least have the guts to do that and put him in there was a big move.
Yeah, and all good things continues the positivity here for Limmer so solidify the center position. Ivan Avena says, "What happened to Puka during his touchdown play?" I think you mentioned it. It looked like he hit it. the ground there a couple of times,
Yeah.
flat, and then I right off the bat I knew that it was he probably he got the wind knocked out of him. Right? Is that
That's what
was
the broadcast kept saying, but then again, after that touchdown, I was kinda keeping an eye on other games, because they pretty much pulled away a little bit there. When Drake May was making that run, I'm not sure if Puka Nacua ever came back to the game, but I'm guessing,
yeah.
because there's a question, he might not have returned, but it could also be precaution.
Yeah, and yeah, he did continue to play. He was in the next series, so
Okay, there you go.
yeah, he
Then it
did
was
go
just
into the
yeah.
tent, but he was back in the. I think he was back in the next drive. Daniel Calderon missed a 20-yard field goal. Wow, Josh Carty there. Ivan Avina says, also hope you guys had a good day today.
Thank
Gilbert
you.
was covering most of the games, and it was a good slate. I think this was the best games of that we've had. The
Yeah.
week 11 was the best set of games that we've had so far this season.
Yeah, like I probably hit on 50% of my picks this week, but I'm not mad because a lot of people did the same thing. Like who saw the
Yeah.
Seahawks, right? Or who
I was checking your best bets from Gilberto's hour, and yeah, a lot of them you hit, like
I got
the
three
the
out
the
of four.
Steelers, the Steelers one, you did, yeah, the Steelers one, the Colts one, and there was
Yeah.
one more that you hit on.
Uh, I'm already I'm already blanking, but
But yeah,
it wasn't the Raiders. Oh, the Seattle Seahawks covering.
yeah, the
But
Seahawks one,
that's the
yeah,
thing, like, I'm kinda annoyed because I had some of these teams winning outright, but obviously with betting with the spreads, I did better.
it's yep,
But it's one of I want to call it one of these the week where we found out a lot about teams. Again, I'm still trying to figure out who the Rams really are. But the Bills got my attention by beating the Chiefs, not only by just beating them, but dropping 30 points in that defense. That is on my radar. The Steelers defense proved me right that the Ravens are too one sided for me. Maybe I get more people to believe in the Steelers. That was pretty cool to see. Obviously, we always talk about divisional games. Obviously, I'm not surprised Seattle beat 49ers.
no,
I always pick the 49ers because they have their number when it comes to the outcome. But even like a game like the Packers and the Bears, the Bears should have won that game, but they're
yep.
division opponents. So, we could always just say, okay, maybe the 49ers are going to win or the Rams or whatever, but you got to play these divisional games.
And it's always tough, especially with divisional games, knowing which way it's going to go. And that's why I think the Rams have a shot here to win the division, just because we don't know what's going to happen in some of these divisional games. And I think, as all good things pointed out, like the Seahawks game is going to be huge against the Cardinals next week. And if the Seahawks beat the Cardinals, then this division is up for grabs at that point, because now it becomes a one game kind of situation then at that point.
Yeah, and we're gonna break it down on Wednesday, but man,
Yeah,
they gotta find a way to beat the Eagles. Like
yeah,
you'll be in a good spot. But even then, Victor's like if they lose, they're only one game behind. So
yeah,
because the Cardinals and the
yep,
Seahawks are gonna play each other, and like
yep,
was it who's the one? Okay, all good things said they're rooting for the Seahawks because the Cardinals are one game ahead.
yep. All good things.
Hey,
Parkinson finally did something today. Yeah, he scored a touchdown, but he only played like in 15 snaps. So another guy that has been a buzz in free agency, Gilbert. And then to G Barigsi comment here, Jonah Jackson signing was a buzz. What a waste. Limmer is your starting center for the next 6 to 10 years.
woo.
So people are already, giving the job here to Limmer, but he's been outstanding. We talked about it before the season started. I remember asking Adam Grossbart, he's like, yeah, you don't pay someone that kind of money like Jonah Jackson. I just felt like Limmer was going to be one of those guys, just the way people were talking about it. You find out a lot too when you have conversations with people and you just hear them talking about certain players, that they have something about them. And sometimes it comes true, sometimes it doesn't, Gilbert.
Well, now the question becomes: is Jonah Jackson at least good enough to beat out Kevin Dotson or Steve Avila for the guard spot, or is he just going to be relegated to the bench? Because again, he didn't play center with Detroit, and
Right.
he played really well as a guard for Detroit. So maybe can he start getting more attention there? But that's going to be a good little battle there. It raises the competition level for Steve Avila. It raises the competition for Kevin Dotson, who just got paid to it. Hey, you can't settle either. So just having that extra lineman doing well, that's actually pretty good in the long run because people can't really settle. Also, we can't forget about the change right tackle. I shouldn't say this. I really don't care. But was Joe Noteboom inactive, or
Yeah,
was he just
he
benched?
was
Okay,
inactive. He
then
was hurt.
that was a blessing in disguise because he's just not
Right.
good. I'm sorry to say.
No. Yeah, and I mean, to all good things, his point. To be fair, Jonah Jackson is center isn't his
Mhm.
natural position, so that's all. There's also that. I want to get a couple more comments. I know we got to go here, Gilbert. Just give me 4 more minutes here, and we'll get you out of here. G. Barisi says, "Gentlemen, is LA a Dodgers, Lakers, Rams, Chargers, Kings town? I say it's a Dodgers town. I'll let you start. I can give you the answer here,
Are
Gilbert.
we just picking one?
I if you want, just rank them in terms of
Oh,
how
okay.
they stack up in
Yeah.
LA, in
Well,
your
right now,
opinion.
yeah, right now it's the Dodgers because they won that World Series, and then we saw how many people turned out at the parade. I wasn't going down there. I'm not gonna deal with that mess. But a
Yeah,
lot of people put themselves out there, so that tells you a lot. Lakers number two. You can always change them. Lakers one
yeah,
and two, and Dodgers depending on who's doing well. And I don't really care for hockey that much, but it's definitely like a distant third. Rams, a really distant, actually distant fourth Kings, and then a distant fifth Chargers.
yeah. I'm gonna say it's a Lakers town still, Gilbert. Um, you it's just because you can only get around 20,000 people into crypto
Yeah,
arena. It's kind of hard to see that, but yeah, I mean the Lakers are they are because they have the most championship. I think it just depends on who you ask, but it's to me it's Lakers, Dodgers, and then it's USC football actually, and then you can just go down the list with Rams, Kings, and then Chargers at the end there from the question there. And then
yeah. Then the Angels, and then the
then
Clippers. So
yeah,
super far.
yes, the Sparks and
Yeah,
everybody else.
yeah,
Henry Camacho says, just throw everything out the window. What works one week doesn't always work the next. Good to see
yeah,
Limmer in the lineup. Center is too important to play Jasmine just because he got paid a lot. So good
yeah.
point
Good point.
there.
I want to see him get a shot at guard too. So again, he got paid for a reason.
Yeah, and then last one here says our three main free agents signings have been a bust. Trey White, Jackson, and Parkinson's a bust. Let's be honest. Great show, gentlemen. Have a great week. So
Thank you.
awesome there, Gilbert. Just give me your final thoughts. I know you said a lot there, but just to kind of end the show here, let's go ahead and just
Yeah.
and set up our preview on Wednesday between the Rams and Eagles.
Putting aside the opponent and also a little bit putting aside the special teams, like the Rams showed us who we think they're going to be in a weekly basis. They just haven't done it on a weekly basis. If you could do that, like you're going to be in all these games because you have firepower offensively. Like that running game was good today. You got obviously when Puka Nacua is your feature point and a stud receiver who's moving the chains, like you're always going to be okay. And then when Cooper Cup was helping out too, you're going to be fine too. But the positive point is like this defense is so young; they're only going to get better every week, and they haven't shown me they're going to regress, and they keep showing me they're getting better. So that's a positive thing there. So Jared Burris, Braden Fitz, Byron Young, even Omar Spades, Cam Kitchens, like these guys are all making plays there. Shout out to Chris Shula there. So, you're rising on the defense. Now, if you get consistency out of the offense, hey, watch out. You never know. Again, I don't know how I rank this team when it comes to the big picture in the NFC. It's loaded. Packers, Vikings, Lions, Eagles, even the fading Commanders, not the Falcons. I don't like the Falcons. They're the pretenders. But the
Yeah.
other teams, they're kind of on a level above the NFC West here, but we'll find out because they have all the ingredients to stick around, and that's why this team won't be fading away. But will they be pulling away? I mean, pulling in the right direction? I just don't know yet.
Yeah, and we'll find out. I think the last, the remaining games that they have left, they have an opportunity to be able to, put their name out there and be able to go after a 7 seed or perhaps even the division. You shouldn't just, once you're like 2 games behind in the wild card, then it probably becomes, hey, you need to go after the division. But as of right now, your options are open and that's all you want. You want an opportunity, especially with the fact that this team fell behind, 3 games under 500, and now they're
Mhm.
right at five, either 5-5, and they're second place in the division. They have the opportunity now to go and get a playoff seed, and then once you enter the tournament, you know how it works, Gilbert. Like everybody has a shot. To win, I think this is as wide open as we've seen the NFL in a while. I know that's the way it's been structured. But yeah, I think even with a lot of top heavy teams in the NFC, the Rams have a shot here to make a run and get into the playoffs.
Yeah, even if this defense keeps getting better and they start becoming a physical unit where you don't want to play them, and say you run into a juggernaut offensively like the Lions, like you know it's going to be a close game. You're going to feel like you have a chance, but the way they're playing right now, it feels like they're not going to be in the race right now when it comes to those good teams. But the defense is rising. The only thing is you need is the offense to be consistent, and then you never know how it plays out.
Yeah, and just put together, a complete game from your offense, your defense, and special teams. If you do that, you can beat these teams like the Eagles and the Bills coming up. So it's on them now. They have the opportunity to go out there and
Yeah,
make a run now, Gilbert. But
big game.
yeah, yeah, big game. But good post game show. Thanks to everybody who showed up. I know we weren't on right after the game. We usually wait for Gilbert, but it was a good show here, good post game show. Appreciate everybody that joined us. G. Barisi, hope I'm saying that right. Henry Camacho, all good things. Shaf, good evening. I forgot your comment there. Our Lions
Hey,
fan
chef.
there. Yeah, Ivan
52
Avina.
points today on those
I know
Jaguars. What a
Daniel
beatdown.
Calderon. They are now my number one team now, Gilbert. I'm
Hey,
gonna put them in
told
my
you.
power rankings. Lions
But is that
one,
because
Chiefs.
it's because of Chiefs loss, or because
Yes, yes.
come
I
on.
told.
You could just tell with the eye test the Lions are so
I
much
know.
better. But
Yeah,
yes.
I've been saying that they are the better. They are the number one team. Although we'll see going forward because they do have a tough schedule to end the season now.
Yeah, that's a very complete roster of Detroit. So we'll talk about them. Check it
All
out.
good.
Check out the show Shaft. We'll break down the Lions soon.
Yeah, all good things says. Thanks, fellas. As always, have a great week ahead. Yeah, please
Yes.
join us for on Wednesday for our preview of the Eagles game. But Gilbert, it's time for us to get out of here
Hmm.
and for us to go watch this Bengals Chargers game.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Should be a good one. Bengals and the Chargers. We'll come back on Wednesday to break down Eagles Rams. Check out everything we're doing at Compas on the Beat with the Lunes Live, with the Four Compas on Tuesday. We talk all NFL. Shaft, you want to hear more Detroit Lions talk? Check out the Four Compas on Tuesday, and the Monday show on Lunes Live. But it's a lot to unpack here for Week 11. We got plenty of content, but we'll get there after tonight's game and Monday Night Football. But let's get out of here. On that note, nos vamos, pues, vámonos.